जी, समणी प्रतिभा प्रज्ञा जी, समणी सत्य प्रज्ञा जी, समणी पुण्य प्रज्ञा जी, समणी रोहिणी प्रज्ञा जी एवं समणी उन्नत प्रज्ञा जी। So I now request the charming Mr. Rajesh Jain to officially welcome you all on behalf of Jain Vishwabharati London in his capacity as trustee.
Navnat Centre, honorable dignitaries, beloved friends, it's a matter of immense pleasure for me to welcome you all on behalf of Jain Vishwabharati London. I'll start with the Sanskrit shok. Vidya dadhati vinayam Vinayad dhyati patratam patratva dhanad dharmam kanoti dhanad dharmam tatah sukham. What it means is knowledge imparts modesty. Through humbleness, one becomes eligible. Once eligible, you become wealthy. Wealth can be utilized to perform good deeds. That is what we call as dharma. And once you have done good deeds, you gain happiness. Today, we are here to celebrate Gyanotsav, that Vidya, which our Samnijis have achieved, and in particular for Dr. Samni Pratibha Pragya ji, who has attained her PhD. Dr. Samni Pratibha Pragya ji's years of devotion and dedication, resilience and sacrifice have made it possible for us to gather together and celebrate this Gyanotsav. It is they who wear the torch of wisdom and spread the fragrance of benevolence, love, compassion, and the very purpose and goal of human existence, the peace. I have been also asked to introduce the dignitaries, and I think that is one of the toughest jobs which I would be doing. I thought let me do a bit of search about their profiles, and then I realized probably I can write a couple of books, but I have been challenged to do this task in the next 5 minutes. Let me try my best. Today we have Councillor Sachin Shah, who is the leader of Harrow Council. From being a governor at the school he went to as a child to becoming a local ward councillor in 2010, he has dedicated his life to improving the borough and supporting those most in the need. After writing the manifesto for the Labour group in the successful 2014 local elections, Mr. Shah, in his role as portfolio holder for finance, has continued to develop policies that promotes local business and regeneration while protecting families and the most vulnerable from the massive government cuts imposed on Harrow Council. In his professional life, Sachin has worked for a wide range of charities, including Parkinson's UK, the Children's Society, and Tradecraft, as well as campaigning on issues to impact to the impacts of debt on children and working on ways to lift children out of poverty. We are also thankful to have Mr. Naveen Shah and Rekhabin Shah. Mr. Naveen Shah is the Councillor Member of London Assembly, representing Brent and Harrow. Mr. Shah moved to United Kingdom in 1973 to study at University College of London. He joined the Labour Party in 1977 and was elected to Harrow London Borough Council as a councillor from Kenton East in 1994. Mr. Shah was leader of Harrow Council from 2004 to 2006 and remained the Labour Group leader until 2008. He was elected as member of London Assembly in 2008, taking the constituency seat of Brenton Harrow. He was re-elected in 2012 and 2016. A very warm welcome to you, sir, and Rekhabin. We also have the pleasure of having Dr. Peter Flugel with us. Dr. Flugel is the Chair, Center of Jain Studies at SOAS. He is also the Reader, Department of Religions and Philosophies. He is member, Center of Buddhist Studies. He is academic staff for SOAS South Asia Institute, literary heritage of the iconic Jaina tradition, and also principal investigator for Jaina prosopography. Dr. Flugel has published extensively on history of Jainism, anthropology and sociology of contemporary Jain schools and sects, Jain relics stupas, Jain Vaishnava syncretism, and on socio-political and legal history of Jain tradition. It was under his guidance that Dr. Samni Pratipragyaji has done her doctorate program. I also have the pleasure of having with us Dr. Mohan Kaul and Mrs. Kaul. Dr. Kaul is the chairman of UK-India Global Business. He chairs a specialist advisory and investment consultancy, prior to which he was founding Director General and later Chairman of Commonwealth Business Council. He is a member of Presidential Advisory Councils of Mozambique, Uganda, Tanzania, Ghana, Nigeria, Zambia, and similar other countries. His current assignments include being Vice Chairman of Indo-UK Health Institute, a joint venture of Prime Minister of India and United Kingdom, with an objective of setting up several private hospitals in various Indian cities with collaboration of King's College Hospital and NHS hospitals in United Kingdom. His earlier assignments include being Public Sector Advisor with the United Nations, member of the Board of Directors and Chair of Governance Committee of ICICI Bank UK, member of the Board of Directors of UK-India Business Council, and member of the Board of World Bank Africa's Virtual University. Dr. Kaul was professor for several years and later dean with prestigious Indian Institute of Management, Ahmedabad. He was also a member of governing body at LD College of Engineering, Ahmedabad. He has also served as advisor to various departments of the Government of India, Planning Commission, Electronics Commission, and Department of Foreign Trade, Government of Gujarat, and he has personally worked and is working as a strategic advisor to Shri Narendra Modi, Prime Minister of India. Dr. Kaul has a PhD in Management Science from the University of Paris. We also have a special guest with us, Dr. Kenneth De Silva. Before I give his introduction, let me tell you, in Jainism we talk a lot about parigraha, and here is a classic example of parigraha. I know Dr. De Silva for last 15 years, and it's a matter of pleasure for me and a surprise for all. Even today, he doesn't own a mobile phone. That kind of parigraha he carries. A parigraha he carries. Dr. Kenneth De Silva is a professor with accounting and finance at the School of Business of London, South Bank University. He is director of the Center for Research in Accounting, Finance and Governance. For several years until 2010, he was the faculty's director for postgraduate research degrees and oversaw its MPhil, PhD and DBA program. We have the pleasure of having Mrs. De Silva also with us. And I see Mr. Sharma has also come. So let me give a quick introduction about Mr. Sharma too. Very warm welcome to you. Mr. Virendra Sharma was first elected as MP in 2007 and he continues to serve the constituency till date without any break. Prior to this, he served as councillor of Ealing for 25 years, including a term as a mayor. He came from India in 1968 and started out as a bus conductor before studying the London School of Economics on a trade union scholarship. This is what you can achieve with knowledge and Gyan. Mr. Sharma has served as a member of International Development Select Committee, Health Select Committee, and has been a member of the Joint Committee of Human Rights. Mr. Sharma currently chairs the Indo-British All-Party Parliamentary Group, leads the APPG for Gurkha Welfare, and co-chair of the APPG on Nepal, the Tuberculosis Group, the Hepatitis Group, and is the vice chairman of APPG for British Hindus. Wish you a very successful event going forward, and I again wish you a very warm welcome to this event. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rajesh uncle. So, a little bit more about what is Gyanotsav. Gyanotsav is a celebration of knowledge, a celebration of a tradition of education in Sadhvijis that has been practiced for centuries with studies of Agam text. History says that even Chandan Bala, Mrigavati, and other Sadhvijis during the time of Bhagwan Mahavir were well versed in Agam text. Today, we celebrate that same tradition of knowledge, credit, much of which goes to Acharya Sri Tulsiji, the ninth Acharya of the Theravada order. For what many of us don't know is that on his third day as Acharya, Gurudev Tulsiji expressed his determination that the Sadhvijis of Theravada should be formally educated, and his vision to formulate the Saman order is of course par excellence. We stand here today celebrating the ventures and vision of Gurudev, resulting in the awarding of a PhD to Dr. Samri Pratibha Pragyaji, the first such award conferred upon a Jain saint by an institution outside of India. So, a little bit about Jain Vishwa Bharati. Before I start, I would actually like to make a special welcome of guests that we have from the JVB Global family. We have Umedji Nahata, Sarlaji Nahata, and Ranjitji Dugar, who have come from India. We also have guests from JVB USA as well, so we're very privileged to have you here with us today. Shiksha, or education, Seva, or service, Sahitya, literature, Sanskriti, or culture, Shodh, or research, Samanvai, unity, and Sadhana, spirituality. These 7 principles form the mission statement of Jain Vishwa Bharati, established by Acharya Sri Tulsiji in 1970. To understand a bit more about JVB Global, I request Mr. Rajiv Bhai Shah to please come on stage.